Hello and welcome. These are horse racing selections for Thursday, the 23rd of February. I am Flat Cap Callum and I'm hoping you are all very, very well. All right, what have we got? Well, we've got for Thursday a £25 day stake and a quarter coming up. I'll go through all of that. It's a nice bit of variety going on Thursday. Before we do that, we will go through the review of Wednesday, and really important up front to acknowledge. Oh my word! It's we have not had a start to the year that you would want to have at all. So currently, after Wednesday's dismal profit and loss results, we're sat minus £122. So context, I'll always give you the context. It's not very good where you want to be. Clearly, if you context the history of the channel, it's fine. It's like 5% of the money that was made in 2022, but it's not where you want to be. And for anyone who's sort of been joining this year, it's not been a lot of fun. Statistically, the worst period of time that we had in 2022 was a 33-day period. I worked this out. It was a 33-day period where we had a deficit in that time of minus £240. So we are just over half of that since the start of the year. So I'm putting that to give it, I'm not saying it's suddenly going to turn around in an instant, but £240 is the worst standalone period of time, which took 33 days, £240 loss. That's what we got. And then it was we turned it, and then a week later we hit Galway Goodwood, and those of you who've been around long enough remember what happens there. So I don't know when it's going to turn. It will turn. It just looks grim at the moment, and it just looks like it's just sort of feels a bit like endless losses. So I absolutely don't blame anyone who's sceptical, who doesn't want to bet anymore or follow the tips. But I appreciate there's lots of people who do, and I also appreciate there's lots of people who just like coming and listening to me chunter on about stuff. So, that's grand too. But it's not been good, and it's painful, to be honest. It's not painful doing the horse racing research, but it's painful every day looking at the results, going, oh no, not again. Because we have had very few days to cheer. Less than 1 in 5 days have been profitable. And we normally run a little bit more like 1 in 4 to 1 to 3, that sort of ratio. So yeah, that on average, that means if I'm doing 5 videos a week, 1 video will be a winning day. But we haven't had anything stand out from a winning profit and loss day. So there's my preamble for tonight. There we go. What did we do then? Let's talk it through, because there was some okay things ish on Wednesday, but mainly not. So this was the main bet. Resdev Way, really disappointing finish. It finished really tailed off. Vienna Girl, no good for the channel. But if you took my advice, I said it was a brilliant bet. Those were my words. In essence, it was about a 2 to 1 shot, I reckon, coming in top 3 and bet 365. In the end, it points and it was there. It was there to be had most of the day. It went 100 to 1 for quite a lot of the time on 365, which gave you 70 to 1 first 3. And then the point I did say last night as well, it actually gave you quarter of the odds at 70 to 1. So that is the equivalent of 17 and a half to 1. 17 and a half to 1. I think I've said that right. Done my maths right there. 17 and a half to 1 for coming top 3. And miraculously, it just stayed on to snag 3rd place as the other horse came fading past. So the race kind of panned out how I imagined it would do. No good for the channel, but anyone who got on there at 70 to 1 each way with 365, well done to you. Then we had West of Carrick faded to be 8th. Maggie Walsh came from nowhere to be 8th, and Whiskey Lady actually placed. So 1 place out of 5, so not the best. This got a bit catapulted by non-runners. The first leg we had 2nd and a non-runner, which is annoying. That race panned out exactly like I thought it might do. With actually Brandy Love got turned over and those two beat it. Didn't put the forecast up. It wasn't very valuable, but but there you go. And then in this leg, that was the one that cost us the bet. Otherwise, it would have been a profitable bet if we'd got a positive result there. Because in that one we had Fleurman and a non-runner, so it just turned back a few pence in the end because of the significance of not those two horses not getting in the ballpark in the 345. And then the combination double. we had a fader, a faller, and a non-runner going on to horses that were third and fourth. So, yeah, unfortunate. A few pence back on that one. So, I've got the faith. Let's see who else has got the faith. Let's go through. We've got a nice bit of variety for this 130 Sedgefield. I didn't say it up front, sorry. 4 bets, 130 Sedgefield. So, starting off with a win bet here at Sedgefield. So 130 Sedgefield, split-legged it, Quiet Flow and Jour de Oué. Yeah, not sure about that one. 100 to 13, 6 to 1. So I like both of those. So worth splitting them. Going on to the 205 Lockermore sevens and then the 350 Lucky Robin sevens. So quite nice prices by my normal standards for a win bet. Yeah, I thought these were worth going for. So we've got there 2 times 50p win trebles, 5 times 50p win doubles, and 2 times 75p win singles on the bottom 2 7 to 1 shots. It's £5 you bet. So yeah, what we're looking for there, 3 winners, dreamland from where it's been. 2 winners would be very nice, but even if we get one of those last 2 winning, we'll make a very small profit on the bet, the way I've configured it. So but we'll see how we go on that one. That's bet 1, that's the win bet. I should say it was a bog bookie advisory on that one. Bet 2 is my all-weather bet. So I've done an all-weather Lucky 31 for Thursday. So 150 Southwell Ebury at 8s. And then we're going a big jump in time, 4:45 Southwell Ubahar 8 to 1. And then the 5:15 Southwell Smoky Malone, I can read that one, 16 to 1. Then the 5:30 Newcastle Dougie's Dream 25 to 1. And then finishing off the 7 o'clock Newcastle Beneficiary 15 to 2. And that is a 15 pence each way Lucky 31 with an additional 35p each way single on Dougie's Dream, the big price, making that a £10 bet for bet 2. Sky best, Coral clear second best. That's that one. And then bet 3. Now this is basically is my jumps bet. I have gone with the 4 best races for a bet on the jumps. Or well, I say the jumps for the day. These, as it stands, I would say these are the 4 best races from a value perspective if you're into playing the maths game, which is albeit a very sensible option. So the 2:15 Huntingdon 5-runner race, Itchy to Damsel. You've got a massive odds on, 5 to 1 on favourite there. That's clear second favourite, so it's absolutely worth putting in there. Five runners. Get a non-runner, we'd be a bit narked about it, but paying quarter of the odds, 5 to 1 for a horse that looks like it should absolutely be second best. Never know, could win. Hopefully, doesn't slip up and not come top 2. So that's gone in at a smaller price. Then the 2:30 Thurles. It's a good rate. Sky is 6. A lot of bookies are 5. I don't like to go big on the amateur jockey QR handicaps because you get right funny results. So it's a good race for betting blind and trying to find surprises. But I'm trying to read the form, and so I've gone fairly sensible here with beating the odds 10 to 1, which is an apt for the channel. Then my bet of the day, 250 Huntingdon. That's a cracking race to have a bet in, and I really like Ruby's Pearl, 100 to 1. That is of the ilk of some of the big ones that I've landed at place money last year. It was a few there at kind of at 3-figure odds I got landed in similar sort of races. Novice hurdle maidens, this time of year is when I start to find these things. Not so much beginning the jump season. So yeah, I'm not going to too overstate it, but the favourite there is an odds-on favourite, which looks like the right horse, and I actually think that the market's not quite that right. The second favourite is far too short for me. I wouldn't be touching that with a barge pole. And then actually, there's a bits and bobs of form. Put them at some of the similar odds. There's no way that should be 100 to 1. That horse should be 16s, I would say. That's where I'd have that horse. So just to give you a view on value. If you get 100 to 1 on that, that's a lovely bet. If you compare that to the Vienna's Girl one, it's a much bigger field. 365 are only going 40 to 1 on 4th place, which is not a terrible bet at all, but it just shows you from the side market bet, Vienna's Girl, how good that was, because it was only competing with one other horse really for 3rd place yesterday. This one is £100. 100 to 1 is the value. It's worth, if you like a side bet, do 40 to 1, but 100 to 1 in the main market is the value. And then finishing off the other big race at Thurles, Dylan Lombardi in the 450, 18 to 1. It's a 20p each way lucky 15, 50p each way single on Ruby's Pearl, horse of the day. Sky Best, then 365 or Coral. And then finishing off, I've got a combination, but I haven't done the 2 Thurles races because I said I didn't want to go on that QR handicap, and I quite like the 515 at Southwell as a second choice. Most bookies are 4, not Paddy. Don't do it on Paddy. So I've actually put up here 365, Coral, Ladbrokes, depending on when they go bog. They're the best options. Same place terms as Sky, but you'll get bog on these. So 450 Thurles, Dylan Lombardi and Tom's Courage I've added in there. And the 515 Southwell, Smokey Malone, which is getting in even shorter. It was 25 to 1 half an hour before the video. Started putting the bets on. It was 16. By the time I got to the second bet, it was 14. So I'm hoping that's not got us to a silly price by the time this goes out. Then we've got Haven Lady 16s and Starfighter 8s. 6 times 25p each way doubles. £3 is your bet. That's bet 4. All right, that's me for tonight. I'm leaving it there. Going back in my cave, licking my wounds, and yeah, hopefully we'll have some sort of ray of sunshine for the channel soon, because we absolutely need it. We're definitely at a point now where we are due one, I would say. Whether or not that's just going to gradually get to us, or whether it's just going to spring us on us, whether we got to wait another week or weeks or whatever, I don't know. But we are due from a mathematical point of view to hit something, because the amount of bad luck, the amount of value, and again, I know some people get it, some people don't. I'm finding the value. Vienna's Girl was value, different kind of value to the horse earlier in the week, because the price didn't come in, but actually just wrong in the market rather than it didn't come in, and therefore the value was there. So that's me. Come on, let's do this. Let's get pumped for Thursday. Turning the whole big ship around, get us £100 day, get us back in some respectableness. But statistically, it's much more likely to not go away. We lose more days than we win. And so, yeah, this is an attritional process to work through. And at the moment, it feels like that because it's been a long duration of time without much to get too excited about. All right, I'll be back on Thursday night. Back Thursday night for Friday selections. That's when I'll be back. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.